I'm going to create a hand-tied design that's a little bit more modern, that can be used for any occasion. I mean, I'm going to design this possibly around Valentine's theme, but it could be used for Valentine's, it could be used for Mother's Day. And the technique that I'm going to show you is very, very simple. We're using some of the carnations, and we've made sure that we've taken all the leaves off, so all the stems are totally clean, which makes it easier to actually handle the design. And again, they're very long lasting and very, very cheap to be able to use in the shop at busy times. I'm just using some of the red aluminium wire, and the products that I'm using, like the aluminium wire and the little pearl diamante pins, are all from IS, so it's quite great that you can get all these products that you need to create all your designs today. And first of all, I've got the aluminium wire, and I'm going to take the carnation, and I'm just going to skewer straight through the calyx, making sure that they all stay at the same level. So I'm just sliding the carnations along the wire.
Neil was telling me about this last night, and I'm dying to see it because I'm sure I'm going to be doing this Valentine's Day.
And it sells for such a good price.
I know, I quite like the price he was saying it sells for. Because, I mean, I don't know about you, but we always have our carnations in a week before the major events.
And you need them open.
You
so
do.
You don't need them closed, you need them to give them a little bit more impact.
So, I mean, the week before, when you're a little bit quieter, which we always are in February, you can get all your carnations stripped, can't you?
Yeah, get them all stripped into the colours. We use them in all the different sundries, like the Eden vase, they can go into there, and they really look stunning in there. They can be made as a hand tied to go in the bag, which we're actually creating today. So I've got my carnations onto the wire. We just start to fasten, go through the calyx and join them together. And that's going to be where that point is, where you can actually turn your flowers to create the shape that you want.
So where you've joined it, that's where the point is going to be?
That's where the point's going to be. Now I can start to manipulate the flowers. And I'm just looking here so that now I can twist and start to create the shape of the heart.
Brilliant. Now, I don't normally like that colour carnation, but done in that design, it looks really rich, doesn't it?
It does, and it looks really, really trendy.
Yeah.
So, which is the easiest way to show you this, I generally then set my stems out, and then I work around each one so that they all spiral in the right direction in your hand.
So the same as doing a hand tied.
Just the same
really,
as doing a hand tied.
Except you're picking it up off the table.
So that then you can then start to manipulate and move the little frame into the position you require, so that you've got the shape of your heart.
So it's become 3D?
Yeah. So it's really quick. And then you just do a little bit of manipulation if you just need to move any of the flowers in the right position. But this can be made in any shape. It can be round, it can be square, it can be oblong. So, you know, different ways. Why not do it half pale pink and half cerise, or half burgundy and half red at Valentine's?
Yeah.
You know, there's different ways of actually creating interest. So first of all, I'm going to just add one carnation, and this is giving recession right deep into the design.
So that's your 13th carnation. So
yeah.
it's 12 at the top and you...
And then I'm just going to add just one rose. Now, with this design, you don't need lots of foliage, just a small skirt of salal. And because salal is so inexpensive, it really just gives that nice casing around the outside of your hand-tied. So now you've got your hand-tied frame made, I'm just going to take a couple of pieces of steel grass. And we're just going to just encase those just slightly over the design, which really just adds interest to the piece. So it's really adding that three-dimensional feel, just a little bit of tweaking by pushing the roses down. And I'm just going to take some twine so just fasten off the hand-tied frame, and you can see that everything is nice and clean and spiralled. And I'm going to use the Interflora bag, and I just need to measure roughly where I feel that the hand-tied needs to sit. Now, the most important thing is when you're wrapping a hand-tied, because the point of the hand-tied is here, this is going to be the lowest point of my cellophane. I don't want to go and it become over the top, because then that will distract from the design. So always make sure that this is going down at the base. So I just need to gently move that back. And the thing is, this can be made up, put in water, in the bags, ready to go. Straighten out the cellophane. And then we've got this wonderful wired ribbon from IS. And I think with this design, I think it's always, the first one is always the hardest. And then once you've made half a dozen or 12, they become so easy. And all my girls can, or any of the staff can actually make these designs. And they love them because it's just something a little different. Just trim off the edges so the cellophane isn't taking control. The design can sit in the bag, and just using one of the little diamante pins that can just be placed in the centre of the rose. And there you have an interesting hand tie that has a lot of difference to it and really bespoke and unique to you, and it's easy for them to take away.
Brilliant.